working. So two things before I start. The first one is I have a strong accent that comes from the border of Wales and Brazil. It's a pretty long border. So if you do not understand something that I'm saying, just please raise your hand and ask. Sometimes I tend to literally translate things from Portuguese to English, and no one understands what I'm saying. So please just let me know if I do that. Second thing is I'm going to be, I have a few slides to show you, but I'm going to be jumping in and out of the slides as well to show you some demos. And I've chosen a few products and tools and features that I'd like to demo, but if there's anything in particular that you would like to see, also please raise your hand and ask. I'll be happy to show you. My name is Stefano. I'm the product marketing manager for Office 365 in education. And I divided this presentation into three main sections here. I'm going to do a quick intro on Office 365, then I'm going to jump into the demos that I've talked about, and then I'm going to end talking about the Office 365 Pro Plus sign-up process, what Steve Bazik just mentioned, the Pro Plus benefit that is free for students and staff for eligible schools. Before joining Microsoft, I used to think that Office 365 was basically a subscription model of the tools that we know already, Word, PowerPoint, Excel, which it is. It is a subscription model where you get all those features, but it's much more than that. Office 365 is a cloud-based service that besides improving productivity, it not only improves productivity, but it improves productivity within collaboration among its users and integration within its tools. And most of the things that I'm going to show you today, like the demos that I'm going to show, they are linked with these two things. I'm going to show you how the tools, the Office tools are integrated, and I'm going to show how you can increase collaboration using those features as well. The first tool that I'm going to show you, that I'm going to demo, is OneNote. And I'm going to start with this video that shows how OneNote is used in classrooms or in some schools to improve both the teaching and the learning experience in an academic environment.
OneNote allows us to share information, it allows students to collaborate, and also it's a great way to share the information with the students. The notebook creation tool allows the teachers to create a notebook for every student, and the teacher can access the student's work at any point in time.
I link all my student addresses, and immediately after I receive the link, and from there the students basically click and their notebook is up.
I'm able to share my OneNote notebook through the class website, and prior to class they download those files and they can take their own notes right on top of the notes that I'm projecting onto the screen.
If I have a kid that's struggling, I can keep their notebook open all the time and keep up with how they're preparing for assessments, doing their homework.
Voy a la página de Oliver Olivia Adam.
OneNote, not only is it used here in the classroom, but at home. And the parents can then engage in the conversation with their students. And that's another wonderful way to communicate.
Hola, me llamo Decker. Tengo 12 años.
For the first time in the 20 years that I've been teaching, I can hear my students at home. They're able to complete the assignment, listen to it, see if they're content with their response, and then I could go home, listen to the particular audio.
Me llamo Decker. Tengo 12 años.
And respond. And I could respond via either typing or writing comments or recording my voice.
OneNote has made me a better teacher because I'm more efficient, I am more present for the students. It's just opened up a lot of ways for me to show up as a teacher.
I see the OneNote creation tool playing a huge part in the future of education. It allows us different ways to learn and to communicate in ways which we haven't been able to before.
How many of you here know OneNote already? So, okay, I'm happy with the result. What I'm going to show, so you've seen them talking about the OneNote class notebook. And this is what I wanted to, let me click here. Oh, sorry. Yes. And the OneNote class notebook is a digital notebook which is customized for the academic environment. And this is what teachers are going to see when they log into their portal. They will see this, if they go there to the top left on the screen, they'll see that, like what we call the waffle there. If they click there, they'll see that class notebook icon. When they click on that icon, if they don't see the icon for some reason, they can also access the class notebook via that link over there. And they're going to see this screen. They just click on create a class notebook, choose the name of their class. It could be like finance, or it could be biology or mathematics. And there's a very simple and straightforward wizard process that they can follow. I'm not going to go through all the steps there, but I wanted to get to this slide here just to show you that this is the structure of the class notebook. It's divided into 3 main sections, which is the collaboration space, the content library, and the student notebooks. I'm going to jump out of the presentation now to show you how this class notebook works in the tool directly. So, there you go. So here it is. So as I said before, here are the sections. You have the collaboration space, you have the content library, and you have the student notebooks. The collaboration space, it's a space where teachers and students have access to edit and post whatever they want. So it's a great space for group projects, for class discussions, for example, where teachers can follow what the students are doing in groups. The second one is the content library. Here, teachers are allowed to, they have permissions to edit, but students can only view it. So it's a great place for teachers to post handouts, to post class slides, lectures, things like that. This would be like kind of like the source of information for their students. And you have the student notebooks here, where each student can only see their own notebooks. The teachers can see all of their notebooks, but each student can only see their own notebook, which like it's a place for them to do like class notes or their homeworks or things like that. This is such a great tool that we here in my team, for example, at Microsoft, we took this customized notebook and we used this as a team management thing. So we used the collaboration space, for example, for my manager and my peers to do updates on our departments, on our segments. We use the content library where my manager like posts things that he wants to share with us. And the student ones is where we have our own notebooks for us to have sort of a employee manager kind of like feedback, these sort of things. I think it's a great tool. I could go on and on with OneNote here. We use OneNote a lot here at Microsoft, but I'm going to jump into some other demos here. Let me show you now how the whole integration within the tools work in some of the new features of Office 2016. I'm going to create a new meeting here, and I'm going to invite subject will be Office 365, and this will be a Skype meeting. Let's plan it for 10. Without having to get out of the tool to create a Skype link for the person to join, Outlook has already a button here, which you just click on it, and it automatically creates a link for the Skype meeting, where when the person clicks on that link, I'll click on that link, it will just create a virtual room for everybody to join the meeting. Let's say that I also want to attach a file. I don't need to get out of the tool to start looking for the file that I was recently working with. So we have this attach file icon here. When I click on it, it will show the recent files that I was working with. And the interesting thing now with this new feature of Office 2016 is that you can see two files there with the same name. One of them will have the cloud here, the other one without the cloud. This one is the regular file that you would attach. The one with the cloud icon here, it's a sharing tool where when I click here, it will automatically share, and I can edit permissions here as well for the person to edit or to view the file, which is, we can co-author that file together during the meeting. So I'm going to send the invitation now. Perfect, it's already here. I'm going to click on it, and I'm going to join the meeting. Okay. Now it creates this virtual room here where we just need to wait for the other participant to arrive. So you see now there we have 2 participants in the room. Hi, Robert.
Hi, Stefano.
How are you?
I'm fine. How are you guys?
I'm great. So I'm going to hand over to Robert now. He's going to talk more about the functions of Skype for Business and show you some of the features as well.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Stefano. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Great. So thanks for giving the opportunity to talk to you about Skype for Business. I'll just take a couple of minutes just to explain a couple of things that we're coming out with from the 1st of December. So hopefully everybody has heard about Skype for Business. We launched Skype for Business in kind of end of May this year. And previously it was called Link 2013, and before that Link 2010, and we even had the name OCS in the past. So Skype for Business, as hopefully everybody is aware, is kind of the next iteration of the Link train, really. And under the hood, it's very much Link 2013 and all the features that you might actually have seen in action. Whether that's, for example, as I've shown you on the slide here, IMAP presence. It could be used for conferencing, audio, video, web conferencing, or even it could be used for telephony side of things. Now, when we launched Skype for Business in May timeframe, of course, one of the big things that we changed was kind of the look and feel. And hopefully by actually seeing me in action here with video and of course the desktop sharing as well, you can see the kind of blue theme coming through from the Skype perspective. One thing I want to make clear to everybody that although it's called Skype or Skype for Business, the solution is quite different from the Skype for Consumer. So first of all, it's not free. Secondly, it's of course very much positioned to be kind of a UC solution for organizations. And hence we have all these different features that we can take care of with the Skype for Business solution. So as I mentioned, we actually are introducing a couple of new features, especially with Office 365 in mind. So all the features I showed you in the previous slide very much are available when you put an on-premise deployment in place. However, if you were trying to use this with Office 365, then very much we could use instant messaging and presence and conferencing. But from a voice perspective, there were some limitations. And that's exactly what we're going to launch in the 1st of December. So as a result, and as you can see on the slide here, we'll be able to actually talk about the full complete meeting solution, as well as kind of a full, in a way, PBX solution. And PBX, what I mean with that is kind of a telephony system for organizations and corporations. Now, I keep on mentioning there are a couple of things are going to come out with on the 1st of December. And this is really kind of a quick overview of all the features that we're going to deliver on the 1st of December and also some time frames around it. So first of all, from a meeting perspective, like we are doing now, if you want to do a full collaborative meeting with like up to 250 people, that's available already with Link Online, and of course with Skype for Business Online as well. The one thing that we really couldn't do is kind of cater for larger type of meetings. So maybe when you want to have an event where you want to present to maybe up to 1,000 or even 2,000, in your case, students. What we are going to come out with is something called Skype Broadcast, and that will allow us to actually kind of stream a session like this up to 10,000 users using Skype for Business from a presenter perspective, while the people that are watching, maybe the students or maybe any other type of audience, is just using a browser. And that, as you can see here, on the 1st of December will actually be launched worldwide. The other side and the other point on meetings is the second line item there is about PSTN conferencing. So in the past, if you want to use Office 365 for conferencing, you had to use what we normally call an ACP partner, audio conferencing partner. And there were 3 in the UK, BT, PGI, and Intercol. And the kind of the second option we're going to provide now on the 1st of December is that you use a Microsoft service. So Microsoft providing the PSTN dial-in conferencing capability from our data centers to the telephony network. So that's kind of with regards to meetings. With regards to voice and kind of a telephony type of a scenario, if you have a lot of, let's say, legacy PBXs in place and maybe they're becoming end of life, then one of the options you could look at is to look at, for example, what we call the cloud PBX. So again, on the 1st of December, we're going to launch this concept called cloud PBX. And the idea really is that we, in Office 365, allow users to be kind of registered against an Office 365 tenant and actually have all the call control in the cloud. And therefore, you don't actually really need an on-premise PBX on-premise anymore. So in the first instance, as you can see there, the cloud PBX is going to go live on the 1st of December. And that will allow us to kind of take the call control from on-premise into the cloud, and we can actually redirect calls from the cloud. How we then connect up to the telephony network, there are 2 options. One is to actually put kind of an on-premise gateway, and that would be really useful in scenarios where you, for example, you have already telephony contracts in place with your telcos. Maybe you are in a 1, 3, or 5 year contract with maybe BT, and you can't really break out of those. So the cloud PBX connected up to kind of an on-premise gateway will allow you to kind of still honor those kind of contracts. In the next phase, we can also allow the cloud PBX to kind of break out to PSTN. So meaning we'll actually take care of the telephony connections from our Office 365 data centers to the telephony network. And so those are kind of a couple of options that maybe are of interest to you guys to think about when you actually talk about telephony and conferencing. Now, I have a last slide to kind of close off with. I'm very conscious I'm taking quite a few minutes of your time, but maybe also kind of very relevant for your scenarios. For example, when we announced Windows 10 in January earlier this year, one of the big announcements is also about a device called Service Hub. And as you can see on the picture here, it's kind of a large screen, around 60 to 84 inch, there are 2 versions, and it's a full PPI screen. So 1 or 2 people can actually do a whiteboarding session at the same time, allowing people that are sitting, for example, in this case in the class, to see what the teacher is actually explaining. But quite nicely built into that device is also Skype for Business. So any kind of remote participants could see the whiteboard sharing. They could actually see the video of the teacher as well, actually talk and contribute to that conference call in that sense. So I thought that is kind of a last thing I wanted to share with you. And with that, Stephanie, I'm handing back to you.
Perfect, Robert. Thank you very much. Wonderful.
Okay.
I'm gonna turn off now, right? Unless you wanna see my presentation here.
I'm fine, thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much, Robert. Bye bye.
Bye.
So it was great giving, I wanted to show you the Skype features through Skype for you to see the technology working. I think it's great. I think it's a great technology, especially for the classroom as well. And let me just show you, I could go on and on with demos here, but let me just show you one last thing. Let me open the file that I just talked about to show you some of these new features of Word in Office 2016. So I shared the file via the email. Another option to share the file is just if you're working on a file that is saved on the cloud, and that's important, like this file needs to be saved in OneDrive for Business. You can just come here on the top corner, right corner, and click on Share. And then you see everybody that has permission to edit this file here. If you want to invite someone else, you just write here, let's say, Matt Fox. I'm going to share it with you, okay? So I can just share it with him here. For example, I can edit the permissions here, saying, well, he can only view the file or things like that. Then I'll click on Share. he'll receive an email saying that he has now access to that file. Some other nice tools from Word, one that I really like is this, not only for Word, but for other products of Office as well, is this tell me function here. So let's say you forgot how to find, let's say, grammar. It brings you here. You can actually write in regular conversation words here to try to look for something. So where is, let's say, a math magic? So he'll bring another new tool here, which is convert ink to math, which leads me to show you another new feature. It's something that students used to complain a lot about, how to include equations in a Word document. And you can just like draw it here. Sorry for my handwriting here, it's not very good, but you can literally draw what you want to show. Oop. I know this equation has nothing to do with it, like it's totally wrong, but just to show you how it works, and then you can just click insert, and you will insert the equation in your Word document. So those are the demos that I wanted to show you. Like, there are other things that I could show you as well, but I'm just conscious of time here. I'm going to then go back to the slides, because I want to now talk about the Office 365 Pro Plus. Okay, perfect. Get this back. So, as Steve said before, all eligible students and staff from eligible schools have access to free Office 365 Pro Plus. And what comes with it is all the tools that you all know from Office: Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Outlook, Access, OneNote that I just showed you, and Publisher. You get Skype for Business, and you get 1 terabyte of OneDrive storage. And although you get all these things, although like you have all these nice tools and features and it can help collaboration and etc., when we look at the eligible the eligible students and staff in the UK, and when we look at the number of downloads, only 9% of the eligible environment has downloaded it already, meaning that 91% of students are not taking benefit of Office 365 for free. That could be for several different reasons. Some of them, they just have older versions of Office and they don't see relevance in upgrading it, and that's why we want to show these new features of this Office 2016 to increase relevance for them to want to download and use the newest versions. But other thing is awareness, and this is one thing that we've been working a lot as well. But we also count on you to cascade it down to students and staff to let them know that they have this benefit and they can download it. And it's a very simple process that I'm going to show you on the next slides here. So Steve showed you this a quick slide showing you this process, but I'm just going to show you each step by step here. When you look at the at the first one there, that's the landing page where when you go to office.com/getoffice365, they will see that page. If they click on the green button, they will see Get Started. Just enter their email. Great, go check your email. They'll go to their inbox, click on the link, and there's like the last thing that they need to do, which is just enter their name, a password, and their age, just to confirm that they're above the required age. And then they'll be able to download it. They will see this screen here, this last screen. Just click on Install Now, and they'll be able to download it for free. There might be the case where existing users without a license are trying to sign up, and they will see, instead of seeing, great, go check your email, they will see you already have an account. But they can just keep going. Just click on Continue. They'll just have to log into the Office 365 portal. almost there. Again, very simple, like same number of screens. They reach the final page there where they can download Office for free again. There can be a few error messages as well. I would like to share it with you so you know what can go wrong. So the first one is that if the user doesn't meet the age requirement. The second one is if they try to enter like a consumer account, let's say a Hotmail or a Gmail account or something. And the third one is if the auto-join feature is turned off by the administrator of their school. So I mean, it's 6 screens in total. It's a simple process. I wanted to share that with you to make sure you know how that works. And so you can do it yourselves and you can cascade it down to students and staff in the schools. Yes? To the 13. Yeah.
How do you register your students?
Sorry?
How do you register your students?
Sorry.
How do you register your students?
How do you register your students? This is a self-sign-up process. They can mainly like go into that website and register themselves into it. They just need to put, like I showed, they just need to put their email, and they'll be able to download it for free. Because this is something that they need to, for them to download it, they need to download it in their devices. So even if they have an account already, like I showed you before, so you can do it from like as administrator point of view, but for them to download the software in their devices, you have to be in each of their devices. Yep. Well, for education, the 2016 is going to be. Sorry to interrupt you. Just kept. Okay, there you go. Well, you asked the question already, right? So yeah. So when they for schools, colleges, and universities, Office 2016 is going to be available for everybody in February next year. But as an administrator feature, you can just go into the portal, go to the administrator portal, and click on First Release. And that will allow them to have 2016 right away. So they don't No. They don't get it automatically. So so they will be asked to upgrade it in February. We're not gonna like push it to them. Like it's also their option to do it. But for now, if they want to have it, the administrators would need to check the first release box in the administrator portal. Oh, let's go. Sorry, go on.
Is there a way to actually let the students have it without having to use a school-registered email address?
Sorry, can you repeat that?
So far with 365, they've had to use a school-registered email address. Yeah. Is there a way they can do it with their personal ones? Because unfortunately, in my place, they won't let them have the 365 email addresses which are in the school. They make them use their own, which I think is fundamentally wrong, but is there a way of getting it from their own email rather than using the school-registered ones? I'm afraid I can double-check that for you, but I'm afraid not. I'm afraid like that the way that we check that they're coming from, because we want them to use this as a university or as a school tool. Yeah. That we want to verify it through their school's email addresses. Yeah, just as a school policy, the higher-ups don't see the point of giving them personal email addresses, even though I think fundamentally that's wrong and they should have.
I agree with you.
It's trying to convince the higher-ups that this is a legitimate way of doing it, which is the biggest problem, which is probably why you're at 90-something%. Yeah, the higher-ups don't understand it and won't budge on it. Yeah. But the higher-ups make the decisions what we are allowed to present them with. Yeah, but if they know it's free, they tend to go with it. But it's trying to get them to look at it that's the biggest problem we have.
It's linked to the school subscription licensing agreement.
Exactly.
So although we provide
exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
They don't need to have email.
Yeah, exactly, with the proper domain, yes. Yeah, what you could do, like an option would be like, for example, you don't need to give the students like inboxes if you don't want to, but you can set up users as an administrator again, and the only thing is that you need to sign up each one of the students one by one. Like you have to like use their machines, you have to log in with the user that you set up, and that would work. Like, and you just don't give them the password or the email address. It's something that the administrator could do one by one. Sorry, you had a question?
You've answered.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so I started with a video on OneNote. I would like to close this session with a video about collaboration and connectivity and integration, which shows that this is something important for all kinds of business today.
Today, people are more connected than ever before, through social networks, through the cloud, through mobile devices. The world has become a giant network, and every second, people are sharing, learning, and making decisions on the go. They're all part of one hyper-connected world. These are your customers. They expect faster responses, personalized service, better experiences. As a business, you have to always be listening to your customers. Anticipate trends, take action, and adapt quickly no matter what comes your way, so you can always stay one step ahead. You need the latest information at your fingertips to make fully informed decisions. And as a business, you can give your customers exactly what they want, when they want it. So they walk away with experiences as unique as they are. What if you were connected to everything important? What if you and every person in your company could work together like a network? Suddenly, you're plugged into everything that matters to your business. You're social and collaborating in new ways, exchanging ideas with people across the globe. You're always listening to your employees, customers, and partners. You spot new opportunities to adapt quickly and make change happen. You share documents and information in real time and make decisions faster than ever. When you're working together as one connected network, you can grow your business. You understand your customers, you build better products, and you deliver the best experiences. This is the power of a network. Now's the time to start working like one.